Figured I'd check in with Brett Hearn here on a Friday night. We did a conversation a little while ago. Brett was actually at Orange County Fair Speedway as a consultant, so to speak, on a TV show that has actually just begun airing on Peacock. The specific interview, or excuse me, the specific episode that he was involved in hasn't yet aired yet, but I understand it will very soon. So let's head on down to the roads in New Jersey. Brett Hearn is on his handheld, or excuse me, not, you know what I mean. He's on his speakerphone in his car. How you doing, Brett?
Good, Doug. How are you?
Good. So you can't wait to see that episode of Poker Face, can you?
Yeah, so actually the plan tonight is to hang out with Katie and do some binge watching. And I guess they've dropped either the first 3 or 4 episodes on Peacock yesterday, and the episode that we're involved in is actually episode 5, where some of the local street stock guys participated, and there's some racing scenes in the episode, which is kind of, you can't wait to see what it looks like.
Are you in the background in any of these scenes, or are you totally behind the scenes?
Well, actually, the truth is, they asked me to be in part of it, and I said I just want to do something that I don't want to be myself, and I don't want to be a driver or car owner or anything like that. So I'd like to be something else. So I am in it. You'll have to watch it very closely to see where I am. I don't have any speaking parts.
Okay.
But if you look really close, you'll be able to find out where I am. And I did have my own dressing room.
Oh, no good.
I'll leave it at that. How's
wow.
that?
So you had your trailer and all of that stuff, huh? Wow. So a new career is starting for Brett Hearn, consultant, a background actor. Soon the Brett Hearn Show will be on soon, so make sure to look for that. They're still working out the details and which network would be able to do that. 6 times last year. You like that, huh? The Brett Hearn Show. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, or you could go to YouTube like me and just do whatever you want, whenever you want. And
right. Find anything you want.
Yeah, exactly. Just sit here and talk about nothing with somebody you've known for 27 years. So like we're doing right now. 6 races last year. I'm going to use your exact quote, nothing to write home about. How was last year? What did we learn?
Well, I think I learned a lot. I didn't really, things just didn't really play out real well. We did win the heat race at the Super Dirt Series at Orange County.
Oh, there you go.
And then we struggled early in the feature. We came back to the next race at Middletown on the anniversary race, and we had some mechanical problems in qualifying with the fuel pump, so we got knocked out that night. We ran Oswego, we ran Eastern States, and we ran World Finals. Eastern States we qualified good in the top 10. Almost won our heat race, and so we felt like we were fairly competitive. Our race strategy didn't play out the way that we thought it was going to, and that killed our finish there. Went to the World Finals, and we had some engine problems right off the get-go. And then second night, we had some bottom end problems with the engine and some oiling problems that knocked us out for the rest of the weekend. So, make a long story short, a lot of time on the sideline last year, but not really a lot to brag about.
Okay. How'd the driver do as you evaluate his performance specifically?
Well, it's no secret that it's very difficult to catch on to the technology changes when you don't do it on a weekly basis. And, quite honestly, I didn't really have my head wrapped around it completely for most of the year. I started the year working at the track, and really once I left the track, I was...
Oh, he's on. There he is. He's back.
Deck thing. It was sort of a thing that we pieced together for fun, and so the bar is not quite as high as it used to be, but we had some fun while we did it, so it's all good.
How will you approach it this year? Are you thinking about racing the same, or do you need to race more to be more competitive? Because I know how that is. You have fun when you do well, especially for somebody like you who's won hundreds and hundreds of races.
Yeah, well, I think I think I either got to do it more to be more competitive, or I've got to be in a position to either be involved with some younger driver, or maybe do some coaching, but basically have a better hand on the pulse of what's going on, to be on top of the game. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. So I don't know how it's going to play out. I'm having some conversations now with some possibilities, and we'll see. Okay. We'll see. I don't really have anything imminent at all right now.
Well, I'm sure your brother and your nephew have good ideas on what to do as far as setting up and things of that nature, don't they?
Well, they do, but every driver feel, and there's a lot to learn. I mean, the new package is way more complex than what it appears from the outside. So I think I learned a lot. I really do, and I think we were going to be good in Charlotte as a weekend progressed. But quite honestly,
engine problems.
We were handicapped by the engine problems right from the get-go. So even though we qualified third in our heat race down at the site, I kind of knew that we were in trouble.
Okay, all right. Are there some things?
Things to think about.
Are there some things you want to do for sure? Like I would imagine Eastern States and Super Dirt Week are probably on that list, aren't they?
Well, I mean, I love being in the car at Volusia. I'd love to go back to Hagerstown.
Okay.
All those things. But, if you're not doing it to be ultra competitive, I don't want to go just to participate.
I gotcha. Of course, any of you guys have been watching the channel.
Right situation.
No, that's it, and that's it. That's been a constant all along. Because I remember years ago you told me this truck can't leave the shop unless it can make money. It's all about the right situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really about making the money now as much as it is about being in a competitive situation that's manageable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a priority. That's the thing, right? So if it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't, I'm okay with that also.
Okay. All right. Now, I've been going through a lot of old photos. I was talking to Brett before he had to go do a couple of calls. And those of you guys who are on Facebook, you're used to getting pictures from me at 2 a.m. now. What's the biggest difference? I'm going through the era of like 06 to like 2012, 13. What's the biggest difference between then and today?
Well, I think the biggest difference to me is that when you walk through the pit area, every single car is identical. Everything from the spoiler to the nose piece to the hood scoop to the door heights to everything. I mean, really, the age of any creativity at all is frowned upon, and it's kind of discouraging. When I look back and go back a little further back into the 90s and even the 80s, there was so much more room for creativity, and it was so much more accepted than it is now. I look at we did some amazing things back in the day when we had the latitude to do that, and I miss those kind of challenges and those days when you were really actually trying to create a better race car than the other guy, and that actually hard work in the shop actually paid off. Now I just, I know that it makes it a lot easier for the average guy to get in on the ground floor and get back and get to a place where he's got the same car as the next guy, but I'm not sure if it's really what appeals to me the most.
Yeah, you're right, because I remember when they used to do the inspections under the grandstand at Syracuse, the hardcore fans and, of course, guys like you and me would look for different, and you were one of the guys who did a lot of different things back then.
Well, we spent countless hours of thinking, planning, building, welding, creating, and all that activity underneath the grandstand at Syracuse was all about who's got what, who's got the next best idea. And I'm afraid now that if we had the luxury of having the miles still there, I'm thinking that Tech Day would be all about who's got a different color than the other guy, because it's all about the wrap now. It's not about anything else.
No, you're right. That is pretty much it. So, I'm going to have to let you go. When you make a decision, let me know, all right, when you decide a little bit more. But one car he does have is an older car. He's going to work at one of his old Syracuse winners that he's restoring. Brett, as always, I appreciate your time. Good luck with everything. I'll make sure we get together in another couple of months and see how things are going. Okay, man?
Okay, sounds good, Doug. Stay in touch.
Yeah, I will do that. Hit the blue E, guys. Subscribe. Turn on the notifications. All that good stuff. Brett Hearn is negotiating traffic right now on his way to have some fun here later on tonight.